Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Up, Sis Talk Radio, the show where Christian authors share their stories through their books to inspire you to speak up and share your own story. Today, I have got a special treat for you all. Typically, I bring other authors into the space to share their work so that they can share the words of their testimonies with you. But today, I am actually going to share my own work with you. So I'm not sure if you all know. I may have told you, not sure. But I wrote my third book. It's entitled When I Met Him, and published it, I believe it was April 1st of this year. Yeah. And so it's been out for just a few months, but I have not actually brought it to Speak Up Sis Talk Radio to share with you all. So I decided that today would be the day that I introduce the book to you all. So on today's episode, you get a really special treat. I am going to allow you to hear one of the chapters in the book. So When I Met Him, it is the second book of my conversational narrative series. Speak with Chic, One Woman, 10 Truths was the first, and When I Met Him is the second. Now, here on Speak Up Sis Talk Radio, you all have already heard a few of these stories out of Speak with Chic. This is going to be your first time hearing any of the stories out of When I Met Him. Now, When I Met Him tells the stories of a woman and her encounters with 10 different men in her life. As you read the book and you read her encounters, ladies, I'm sure you're going to say, oh my goodness, I knew him or I met him. At some point in the book, you're going to recognize at least one of the men, probably more of them. However, I bless God for, one, giving me a testimony out of the test that I've been through. Two, I thank him for giving me the strength, his strength, to actually tell the stories so that I can overcome the tricks of the enemy like guilt, shame, self-condemnation, and help some other people to overcome the tricks of the enemy, right? So as you sit and you listen to, I believe I'm going to let you hear Man 3. Just FYI, all of the chapters in the book are titled Man and a Number, like Man 1, Man 2, Man 3. And it's done purposefully so that the reader will identify with the story and you'll put a name on that man. So sit back and take a listen as I share Man 3 with you all. And I pray that it will reach you in some way. And I pray that it will help you to stand up in your own story, acknowledge your own truth, give voice to it in your own way so that you too can overcome by sharing the words of your testimony. Man 3. It's my junior year of high school, and all I can think about is graduating next year. Junior year is the year for class rings and prom, and I was far more excited about getting my ring and graduating than going to prom. I was pretty much over school and had my sights on college. I was ready to take on the world. Since my birthday was the beginning of June, I was able to begin school on time for kindergarten at 5 years old instead of 6. Therefore, I was one of the kids who would be 17 at graduation. Not legally grown, but still grown. The month I turned 16, I got my first job. a cashier at the Buy Low grocery store. You couldn't tell me anything. I was able to make my own money and do things I wanted to do without having to ask my mom for anything. My mom had been dictating my life forever, and I kept trying to tell her that I was not her. Just because she made bad decisions when she was my age didn't mean I was going to do the same. Prior to getting the job, I was wearing a natural hairstyle before naturals were in style. I was queen of the ponytail. I knew all variations of ponytails that a high schooler could wear without looking like a kid. Because my natural hair was thick and curly, I could not get finger waves and asymmetrical haircuts like the other more fashionable girls were getting because my mother would not allow me to get a perm. She said I could not get a perm until I could afford to keep it up and pay to get my hair done on a regular basis because she couldn't afford it. Just in case you don't know, perm was the term used at the time for a relaxer. White women got a perm to make their hair curly, but black women get a perm to make their hair silky straight. Since I did not have a perm, the styling gel used for finger waves, a popular hairstyle at the time, made my hair curly and frizzy instead of firm and stiff. And there was no way I would let anyone cut my mop in a high-low style without having a perm first. I would have probably ended up looking like a chia pet. Therefore, ponytails were all I could get away with wearing because loose naturals definitely were not in during the early 1990s. As soon as I got my first paycheck, I went to the beauty salon and got a perm. That perm gave me all sorts of confidence. My once tight, shrunken curls were bone straight, down my back locks that made me feel much prettier than I had ever felt before. That summer, not only did I turn 16, get my first job and my first perm, but I began hanging out with my older sister and her friends, who were about 5 years older than me. The years 1993 and 1994 were two of the most unforgettable years of my life. Because I was with my older sister, our parents allowed me to tag along with her and her friends. And boy, did I tag along. I was able to hang out on Sunday afternoons at Pendleton King Park during a time when slowly riding through the park in your freshly washed vehicle while bumping loud music was the thing to do. Everyone was older than me, and because I looked older than my age, no one ever questioned why I was there. 3 things you must know about me are: I love to watch people, I love music, and I love to dance. I watched my sister and her friends, who became my big sisters too. While I watched, unbeknownst to them, they taught me a new dance. I watched the playful yet sultry way young women and young men moved with and around one another, and I was a quick learner. As soon as I learned the steps to this style of communicating, I joined the dance. He was the tallest man I had ever encountered. I stood a bold 5 feet 3 inches, and he was a formidable giant, towering a whole foot plus some above me at 6 feet 5 inches. His arms were long, lean, and muscular, and his smile was wide and showed all 32 of his pearly white teeth. He was laughing with a few guys as he stood on the side of his parked Chevy Impala with his left foot planted firmly on the ground and the right foot rested on the running board of the car. I don't know what their conversation was about, but he laughed as if it was the funniest thing he had ever heard. I tried not to stare at him. I had learned from watching the dance that I was supposed to let him notice and pursue me, even if I spotted him first. but I found it difficult, downright impossible to take my eyes off him. Just when I found the strength to turn my head, he turned his. Our gazes locked, and our eyes said, "Hello." I didn't think his smile could get any bigger, but it did. Less than a minute before, I couldn't tear my eyes away from his face. Now it was like pulling teeth to keep my eyes on him. I turned my head towards my sisters, who were laughing and dancing to the music, blasting from the truck speakers, and I attempted to join in their fun. What is wrong with me? How can I long for him to notice me and not notice me at the same time? Wait a minute. Is he walking over here? Please don't come over here. What am I going to say to him? What is he going to say to me? Look at him. He's gorgeous. How is he able to keep that smile so big for so long? Oh my goodness. He's standing so close and he smells so good. Hey, I didn't know y'all were coming through today, he said to my sisters as he broke my trance. He was standing beside me and his friends were greeting and hugging my sisters. I stood silently while tapping my fingertips on the top of the truck and learned they all went to high school together. As they caught up on old times, he looked at me and interrupted the conversation. So who's y'all's beautiful friend? I don't remember her from school. All eyes and grins were directed to me. I stepped up, followed his lead, and we began to dance. Ours was no old school slow dance. It was fast, young, strong, lyrical, smooth, yet raw and untamed. Our dance was hip hop. Instantly, we were in step with one another, and our dance was like none of the others I had watched. I chose to not be coy and to not let him chase me, but to stand toe to toe and match his moves. I answered his question and told him that he didn't know me because I did not attend school with my sister and her friends. I was their younger sister. He asked my age. I told him the truth, and he was not fazed. He almost seemed amused at my confidence, audacity, and willingness to dance with him. We continued to small talk. To my surprise, he was also the youngest of his crew. Although he went to school with them, he was a freshman while they were seniors. He was not related to the other guys, but they all grew up in the same neighborhood and played basketball for their high school team. Do you have a boyfriend? No. Do you have a girlfriend? I asked. No, but you gonna be my girl. I quickly responded. And how do you figure that? You think you got it going on like that? He grinned and replied just as quickly, Yup. I couldn't help but smile at his self-assurance. He asked, Can I have your phone number? I paused for a moment, pursed my lips, but kept a smile on my face and said, Hold on. I stooped and leaned into the truck, found an old receipt and pen, scribbled my name and number, slid out the truck, handed him the receipt, and said, Make sure to use it. Along with the perm, I paid for my own telephone line and phone for my room. I no longer had to wait for my brother to finish talking to his girlfriend to get access to the phone. No more pulling up a chair to the kitchen counter to talk on the family phone because the cord would not reach into the living room. Now I could make calls in the privacy of my own room if I wanted and not have to wait for anyone to get off the phone because I had my very own line, phone, and phone number. When I got home from the park, I ran to my room and waited. If you've ever wondered what an eternity feels like, channel being a teenage girl who is waiting to receive a phone call from a boy she just met. Even if he calls her 15 minutes after getting her number, it will be the longest 15 minutes of her entire 16 years of life. At 10:14 p.m., the phone rang, and I bolted out of my sleep because I knew it was him. The only other people who had my personal line were my two best friends and my sister, and I knew they were asleep. I picked up the telephone receiver after the second ring because the phone was on my bed next to my pillow. I did not want the blaring sound of my new phone and the silence of the house to awaken my mother. "Hello," I said while trying to mask the sleep in my voice. "What's up? You sleeping?" he asked. I lied. "No, not really. I just laid down right before you called." Why in the world did I just lie? I don't even know, but he's so cute. And he really called me. I don't want him to think I don't like him. Girl, if you don't talk to him now, he might not call again. So whatever, just sit up and talk. Long nights of talking on the phone became our ritual. We talked about everything, from our favorite colors to what we wanted to do in the future. We made promises to always be together, and eventually he professed his love for me. It felt good to hear him say it, even if I struggled to repeat it. Although I struggled, I did say it. I love you too. It had been 4 months and 2 days since we met at the park, and we were still dancing. A month after meeting, he asked me to go with him, and we became inseparable. I'm not sure when the DJ changed the music, but our up-tempo, flirty bounce somehow transitioned into a melodic, steady rock, and we started having sex. I wasn't a virgin, but I was still not comfortable having sex, even though I agreed to do it. That's what girlfriends and boyfriends do, right? We talked every day and spent every weekend together. He was not my mom's favorite person, but she allowed him to come over sometimes during the weekday. My sister and my best friend started to trip because I wasn't kicking it with them as much, but he liked for me to come to his house on Saturday. His mom always had a cookout and invited people to their house, and he wanted me there. His mom and his little sister loved me, and so did he. I decided I was not giving up all that to hang out at the mall with my friend girls. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. Again, I didn't get a lick of sleep, and it was time to get ready for school, but I did not care. We had pulled another all-nighter. However, I was shocked and don't think I was ready to hear what he shared the night before. He told me about his brother. At 12 years old, he accidentally killed his brother. His brother on his dad's side. I was speechless. The two boys were playing with their father's gun, and the gun went off, and his brother died in front of him. He talked to me about how he sat there with his brother until his father got home. He explained all the details about being interrogated and how he felt about himself and how he blamed himself. After all that, he said he had not told anyone other than me. And what do you say when someone confides in you with a secret like that? I just listened. We sat silently for a few minutes before the conversation picked up again, like he had not shared with me that he accidentally killed his brother. It's difficult to explain, but something shifted during the silence. "What y'all doing Saturday?" I asked my sister as we sat and watched the Ricky Lake show. "He's letting you hang out now?" she replied as she laughed at the lady on the television who was getting ready to fight her boyfriend's girlfriend. "And what's that supposed to mean? He doesn't have to let me do anything. I can do what I want to do." She immediately responded, "Since when?" I rolled my eyes and said, "Girl, shut up. I'm kicking it with y'all this weekend." I could hardly get the words out of my mouth when the phone rings. My sister looks at me. I look at the phone. We both know who it is. I turn my attention back to the girl fighting her boyfriend's girlfriend. My sister smirks, shakes her head, and we begin to laugh at the scene unfolding on the TV screen. The house party is jumping, and my girls and I are fly. I get paid every Friday, and every Friday I get my hair done and buy a new outfit. I was supposed to work at the grocery store tonight, but I called in because there was no way I was going to miss this party. All the players came from far and wide, wearing afros and braids, kicking them gangster rides. Now I'm here to tell ya there's a better day, when the player ball is happening all day, every day. Outcast is booming on the stereo. We all have a red cup in our hands, held high in the air. My eyes are closed, and I'm rocking, swaying, and rapping. What the hell you doing up in here? He hisses in my ear as he presses his body against my back, wraps his arms around my waist, and changes the rhythm of my dance. I freeze. I don't attempt to turn to see who grabbed me because I knew it was him. His grip is strong and tight, and before I can respond, he says, "Why haven't you been answering my calls?" His energy immediately transfers to me, and I feel like I should get angry. As his hold on me gets tighter, my side begins to hurt, and just as quickly as I think to become angry, the anger morphs to fear. Now I'm paralyzed. Deja vu. My sister notices he's here, but we look like we're dancing, so no one comes over. I lie. They gave me more hours at work, so I've been really busy with school and work. I backtrack and answer the initial question with another lie. My sister asked me to come to the party with her because she didn't want to come by herself, so I said okay. His grip loosened, but not enough for me to turn and face him. Remember rapping, Duke? Da-ha, da-ha, you never thought that hip-hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight because I rhyme tight. As the tempo changes and Biggie begins to tell everybody about his dream, I enter a nightmare. Even though the music changed, he didn't miss a beat. Hey, what's up, man? I hear a guy's voice yell over the music. We pause. Nothing, man. Just kicking it with my girl. I'll catch up with you later. He responded. Aight then, the guy said as my boyfriend nudges me forward, and we two-step off the dance floor into the kitchen and out the back door. Once outside, he spins me around and I look into his eyes. I haven't seen this look in a man's eyes in a long time. Wild, mixed with anger, fear, pain, and desire. This is the first time I've ever seen it up close, and the first time it's directed at me. I'm sorry, burst from my lips. I'm sorry, I haven't talked to you this week, and I should have called to tell you I was going out with my sister. It won't happen again. Girl, how did you get yourself here? Think. He is a giant. You can't fight him. You've seen this before. You know what this is. You know this ain't normal, and it ain't right. Don't listen to his words. Don't listen to the apology. Kiss him back. Say okay. I hear myself saying, okay, I know you didn't mean to scare me. He's still talking. Babe, I didn't mean to grab you so hard. You know I wouldn't hurt you. I didn't mean to curse at you. I just thought you were trying to break up with me. Today is the day my brother died, and I've just been messed up all day. I just needed you today. Don't listen to him. Just say okay. I hear myself say, okay, I understand. You know what to do. This is not a new dance. Remember, You've seen this before. Don't argue. Let him take you home. Don't fight. Smile. Wave at your sister standing at the door and tell her you'll call her later. See you later, girl. Yeah, he's going to give me a ride home. I'll tell Mama you're riding home with your friends. I don't know if Mama is home, but neither does he. Just get home. Breathe. Put your arm around his waist. Walk to the car. Get in the car. Don't talk. Listen. Nod. Ride. Again he says, babe, you know I love you. I would never hurt you. With no hesitation, I lie again. Yes, I know you'll never hurt me. Don't talk. Listen. Nod. Ride. Get out the car. Thank you, God. My brother is home. Simultaneously, we spot my brother's blue hoopty in the driveway, and there's a silent understanding that not only is this night over, but we both know the man at the party just turned on the lights, and this was our last dance. All right, everyone, we're done for the day. I appreciate your time and your ear. I thank you for tuning in to Speak Up Sis Talk Radio, where Christian authors have a chance to share their stories to inspire yours. I'm so honored that you all sat with me today in order to allow me to share the words of my own testimony. And I pray that something you heard in the story today will have inspired you to share your own story in your own unique way. I'd love for you to visit me online at my website. It's www.speakupsis.com, and subscribe to receive updates about all things Speak Up Sis, and follow me on Facebook at Speak Up Sis Talk Radio. You can also follow me on Instagram at speak.up.sis. Until next time, have a beautiful day and be blessed. Bye.